Hello, everybody. So glad to see so many folks coming in the room today on Tuesday, April 16. We are glad you've decided to join us. I see a bunch of familiar faces. I see at least one new face today, and glad you've come along for the ride. So for anybody who is new to us today, that's in this room or out there on Facebook Live or on YouTube Live, we are the daily antidote of song. That's one sing-along song, sometimes two, every day at noon Eastern since April of 2020. And we've just celebrated the start of our 5th year. Let's give it up for year 5. And on May 14th, we are going to hit day 1,500. So we'll have another little celebration coming along then. And I'm so glad you've decided to join us on this particular day. We've got lots of good music in the works. We're going to do a quick hello to everybody on the YouTube and on the Facebook. Hey, gang, the Facebook. Now I sound like a grandmother. On the Facebook. Hello, everybody out there. Glad you guys joined us today. And I'm going to say hello to everybody in the room. So starting, of course, with Sarina Partridge coming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sarina is our song leader for the day, and we can't wait to talk with Sarina more and to sing with her. Glad you're here, Sarina. Aaron, doing our tech from the Bronx in New York. Nice to have you with us today. Deborah from Kentucky. Hello. Deli coming in from Maryland. Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Nice to see you today. Sarah coming in from, I don't remember. Sarah, maybe New York. Becky in Vancouver, Athena in Brooklyn, Susan in Cincinnati, Ohio, Dan coming in from Virginia, Kim in Vancouver on Vancouver Island, Marv sang with us once before. Marv, we're really glad you're in the room with us. Marv Zouder, and I think that is California if I remember right. Sue coming in from Seattle, Luda in Victoria, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Sheila in North Florida, Benet in Berkeley, Gary in Massachusetts, Annette in California, Dennis Donnelly coming in from Victoria, also one of our song leaders and hosts. Glad you're with us today. Hello to Meg, Caroline in DC, Bronwyn in Victoria. Somebody reminding me, it's Kevin in DC, reminding me that today is day 1,472. I said the 1,000 and I was like, wait, it couldn't be 1,000. That's too many. Elizabeth in California, Dawn in the Curly Tops coming in from Vermont, Louise coming in from Devon, UK, Hoda in British Columbia, Aloysius in Mass, Diane coming in from Puerto Rico, Mabel coming in from Cambridge, Mass, and Two Bears, Nancy in Washington State, Chuck coming in from Detroit, or maybe that's Grand Rapids, Michigan, Marcia coming in from Huntsville, Ontario, Jane in Texas, Jamie in Victoria, Ann in Silver Spring, Fred in Silver Spring, Kevin in New Hampshire. Who else do we have? Carol in Connecticut, Julie coming in from Ontario, and Jim Harkless in Maryland, C.Y. Singer and Carol. Nice to have all of you today. Let's all take a nice deep breath. Whew. Okay, it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day here in New Hampshire. I hope everyone, I can see sun in people's backgrounds. I hope everyone is doing well today. And we're in the right place no matter how you're feeling today, because Sarina always brings us magical, healing, incredible, peace-inducing songs. And today is no different. Sarina is a musician, singer, songwriter, person extraordinaire, activist in Minneapolis. And Sarina, do you want to add anything to my introduction before you sing with us today?
I think you nailed it.
Woohoo! And do you want to say anything to us about the first song you're going to sing, and sing it with us, and we'll chat afterwards?
I would love that. So here in Minneapolis, it's a rainy day. I heard thunder this morning, which was very summery feeling, thrilling. And as I've been biking around this last week, it's been some nice warm days. I'm noticing that the willow trees have their baby leaves out, that like bright, vibrating, so light green. So that's why I wanted to share this first song with you. It's called The Willows Weep. And this song came to me while I was walking in the woods, looking at the willow trees and thinking about how sometimes I need a little bit of an invitation from my allies in the natural world to let big feelings move through. And I felt like, well, the willows are weeping, so maybe I can let myself weep along with them. And that's where this song is coming from. And I invite you to think about, like, where do you go in nature that invites you to feel your big feelings and let them move on through? So I'm going to teach it just line by line, and then we'll sing it together. And maybe I'll play the banjo, which is hanging out next to me and waiting. So sing this back to me if you would. The willows weep, the willows weep. Let's try it together. The willows weep, the willows weep. Let's sing that again. The willows weep, the willows weep. Here's the next line. To see this beautiful world in so much pain. Let's try that. To see this beautiful world in so much pain. Let's put those two together. The willows weep, the willows weep. To see this beautiful world in so much pain. And then, the willows weep. That one's the same. The willows weep. Let's try that. The willows weep. The willows weep. Maybe I can let myself. Let's just try that much. Maybe I can let myself. It's like a going down the stairs. Maybe I can let myself. Do that one more time. Maybe I can let myself weep along with them. Let's sing from maybe. Maybe I can let myself weep along with them. And then we kind of answer ourselves. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them. That's the whole song. So how about let's do this? And yes, I wrote this song. Someone asked that in the chat. I saw it. We're gonna sing it a few times. I don't know, at least 3 times. If it needs to keep going, I'll just swing the lasso, and that means one more time. But yeah, bring to mind that place for you that's like where you go to remind yourself that you're allowed to feel things in a big way. We can sing to those places. The willows weep, the willows weep, to see this beautiful world in so much pain. The willows weep, the willows weep. Maybe I can let myself weep along with them. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them. The willows weep, the willows weep, to see this beautiful world in so much pain. The willows weep, the willows weep. Maybe I can let myself weep along with them. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them. Let's sing it one more time. The willows weep, the willows weep, to see this beautiful world in so much pain. The willows weep, the willows weep. Maybe I can let myself weep along with them. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them. Oh, I'm gonna let myself weep along with them.
Sarina, thank you so much.
Aw, thanks for singing with me, everybody.
Well, thanks for bringing us some sentiments that are probably a pretty good place to land right about now. We've been talking a little bit in the sound check about the tough stuff going on around the globe, and sometimes also in people's individual lives who are in this room or who are listening to us on YouTube, and sort of the permission to feel, to emote, to cry, to take the space to actually, like, feel where we are right now is just, yeah, super important, super incredible. What do you want to share more about the song?
Well, actually, that song came through me this October, kind of in response to what's happening in the Middle East. I'm Jewish. It's a really interesting time to be Jewish and anti-war very strongly, and anti-occupation and anti-colonization and just pro-peace. I do a lot of cultural work and activism, and it's just like, it's been a heavy time. And sometimes for me, it's just so overwhelming. I'm in the busyness of doing so much that I don't leave myself a lot of space to just feel the heartbreak. And that's kind of where this song came from. And that's usually how it is for me. It's like I get with the trees, I get with the water, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm a part of this. Being a human doesn't make me separate. And that's a very helpful reminder.
Thank you, Sarina. Very beautiful. I think we've been talking a lot in the space about how there's a lot of subtlety right now and a lot of complexity in looking at some of the stuff that is going on around the globe, and that the place that I think we've all agreed we need to land is the idea of nonviolence, the idea of peace, the idea of looking for other options than, war as an answer. And it's a deep breath kind of a universe right now. And I read in the news this morning some just really heartbreaking stuff on the front page of our, local DC Washington Post newspaper, and my hearts are going out to families all around the globe right now. And Sarina, what else can you share about, like, sort of how you're working through the world right now, or what's going on in your universe, musical and otherwise?
Yeah, well, I was standing in line next to someone. I love talking to strangers. Maybe you're like this too. So always having surprising conversations. This is my life. And someone was talking to me about climate change. And she was saying, I've got little kids. I'm thinking about the changing climate all the time. Feels like it's a sinking ship. How do I have hope? And I was like, I don't think it's a sinking ship. And even if I did, I think it still matters how we treat each other. If the ship's sinking, I still care how we treat each other. So either way, I'm going to have hope. And that's really helpful for me. Not as because like hope is cute, but like it's really necessary to stay hopeful. It's really strategic. And it's really hard. So I find that one of the places I go to be reminded of how good people are is community singing. So I lead a bunch of community choirs here in Minneapolis, and I'm partnering with a mental health therapist to do a group therapy program that's centered on singing as a way to help ourselves be more well together. I sing with a trio called Heartwood, and we are in the process of writing a musical. One of the most cray-cray projects I've ever done. Let me tell you, there's puppets. I don't even know. And that group, Heartwood, we just finished recording an album. I recorded an album this fall of my original music. And I travel around and lead singing at various singing camps. I'm going to be in Vancouver area a lot this summer, leading at a few different singing workshops on Vancouver Island, Gambier Island, and in Port Townsend, Washington. So It's busy times with lots of fun things, and I'm always excited to hear how people around the world are using singing in service of the work that we care about, because I think it's such a potent tool.
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Sarina. Love that. I know there's a lot of people in the room who are from the Vancouver area, so I hope lots of folks will come and visit you at your workshops. I feel like you can talk about music and singing and coming together in song as something that is like outward helping, for the music that brings the activists together, the music that brings the strength to the people who are out there trying to make the difference on the grand scale, but also like all of that internal work and how the music directly affects our brain and how, all this amazing science around this stuff that I think we're kind of an experiment in here, folks. Even if you didn't know it, we're an experiment. Trying to see like how we can uplift ourselves in crazy times by coming together and singing. And we talk about this a lot, but you can come in on any day, no matter how you're feeling, and find yourself altered by whatever songs someone has decided to bring us and what impact they have. So Sarina, I'm so glad that you're back in here again. We love singing with you, and I can't remember when the last time is. Yeah, let's give Sarina a welcome back to our little daily space.
Thanks, y'all.
Do you want to say anything else about what you've got coming up before we share another song with you?
I guess one last thing is that I have a Patreon page, and a lot of the people on it, actually, maybe Marv is, I think so. A lot of the people on it are song leaders, choir directors. What I use it for is to post a new song every other week with the harmony tracks all separated out so that people can learn them and sing with their family or sing with a singing group they're a part of or teach it to their classroom or make their staff meeting, turn their staff meeting into a community sing. Yes, it's a hostile takeover of singing taking over everything. That's what I'm rooting for. My ultimate vision is more community singing opportunities than gas stations. That's my global vision. So let's do it.
All right, maybe we should start by like having sings at gas stations, right? Like one sing per gas station. We'll try. Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
I love it.
They're accessible. They usually have a bathroom. That's pretty good.
That's really great. So, you're amazing. You're incredible. You bring so much energy and so much joy in here, and we're so excited to sing with you again. So, if you're up for it, let's do it, and we can say a little bit more when we're done with your second song.
Perfect. So the fumes. It's true. There's some issues to consider.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll put it to my secretary, which unfortunately is me. I want to teach you a song called The Future is Calling. And this is one of those songs where we can tag in and out different words. So I'll teach it to you, and then you'll put your ideas in the chat, and we can sing it with other words too. So this one sounds like this. The future is calling for healing. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The future is calling for healing, and the people will sing along, and the singing will keep us strong. That's the whole thing. So then we can think about the future is calling for, you tell me. But I want to teach it to you first for real. You can just start the gears turning. Sing this back to me if you would. The future is calling for healing. The future is calling for healing. And then we'll sing, can you feel it? Try that. Can you feel it? That happens twice. Can you feel it? Cool. And you can sing, can you feel it with me? Or you could be a little echo on that part. So practice being the echo. See if you can figure out where it goes, okay? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Totally. So you can sing with me, or an echo, or, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm never going to know. Okay, let's go back to the beginning and get there. Okay, here we go. The future is calling for healing. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Then we sing first line again. The future is calling for healing. And then it ends like this. And the people will sing along. Let's sing that together. And the people will sing along. And then we sing, and the singing will keep us strong. Let's sing that together. And the singing will keep us strong. Exactly. You feel like you kind of understand the form? Give me some kind of dance move if you kind of get what's happening. Oh yeah, I see your dance moves. Okay, I'm just going to look in the chat and see what ideas are already there. Oh, yes. The future is calling for empathy and justice and compassion and trust and mercy and courage and singing. Absolutely. Okay, I mean, people, the future is asking for a lot of us, and we're going to do our darndest, okay? So we might not sing all of these, but it's my hope that this is a simple enough song. You can hang on to it and then go sing it with your people with the words that are relevant to you. I've certainly sung this in groups where someone's like, dinosaurs, and I'm like, okay, the future is calling for dinosaurs. I don't know how that's going to go for you. I've seen Jurassic Park a few times, but we'll sing that. We will sing your idea. You know, this is what happens. Anywho, and a lot of these songs are on my Bandcamp page. If you want to remember it, you can stream it or download it from there. I'm pretty sure this song is on there too. Okay, let's sing about empathy, okay? Here we go. The future is calling for empathy. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The future is calling for empathy, and the people will sing along. And the singing will keep us strong. And maybe you're out there adding a harmony. Is anyone adding a harmony? I hope so. That's beautiful. The future is calling for courage. The future is calling for courage. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The future is calling for courage, and the people will sing along. And the singing will keep us strong. And the future calls for justice. The future is calling for justice. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The future is calling for justice, and the people will sing along. And the singing will keep us strong. And a shout out to Kevin, who's playing along on the flute. That's so cool. I love that. The future is calling for peace. I want to sing about that. Here we go. The future is calling for peace. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I can feel it. The future is calling for peace, and the people will sing along. and the singing will keep us strong. Let's sing one more. The future's calling for singing. Yes, yes, yes. The future is calling for singing. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I can feel it. The future is calling for singing, and the people will sing along. And the singing will keep us strong. And the singing will keep us strong.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarina Partridge.
Thanks for having me, Joe. Always a delight to be with you and you all.
Right back at you. Yeah, I love spending time with you. Love being able to think things through with you and sing things through with you. And, all of the efforts making the world better one day or one song at a time is all we're engaging in here. And we love knowing that that's what you're doing too. So thank you, Sarina. Huge, huge shout out to you.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody for joining us today here at the Daily Antidote. Hope that today brought you a boost and some strength and some more tools for processing. And we can't wait to sing with you again tomorrow. So let's all wave Sarina another big thank you and another thank you and goodbye to Sarina Partridge coming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Please check out all her links in the chat. She's got lots of great sing-along stuff available, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again, Sarina.
Thank you.
Woohoo! And let's say bye to everybody out there on the live stream. Thanks, folks on YouTube, and thanks, folks on Facebook Live for joining us today. Glad you're here. And goodbye, and thank you to Aaron for running tech for us from Bronx, New York, Athena in Brooklyn, Susan in Cincinnati, Jim in Maryland, Dan in Vienna, Virginia, Kim in Vancouver, Marv coming in from California, Sue in Seattle, Luda in Victoria, Kathleen in Albuquerque, Annette in California, Cricket in Maryland, Bonnie in Boise, Idaho, Mabel and Bears in Massachusetts, Bob next door in Massachusetts, Linda in Mass. Hoda in British Columbia, Pauline in Newcastle in UK. No, Pauline in Newcastle, UK. Great to see you. Oh, and William. Hi, William. Glad you're with us today. Thanks for joining us. Dennis coming in from Victoria. So glad you're with us today. Gary in Massachusetts, Kevin in DC, Chuck coming in from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I just lost my space. Sorry. Kevin Ennis coming in from New Hampshire, Sheila in Florida, Jamie in Victoria. Benet in California, Deli in Maryland, Jane in Texas, Marcia in Huntsville, Louise in Devon, UK, Ann in Silver Springs, Storm in Mass, Ann in Knoxville, Tennessee, Aloysius in Mass, Meg, I think you've been with us before. I don't know where you're from. Glad to have you back again today. Nancy in Washington State, Diane in Puerto Rico, Julie in Ontario, Elizabeth in California, Sarah, Dawn and the Curly Tops in Vermont, Caroline in DC, Carol in Connecticut, Kevin in DC, CY, Danny coming in from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Glad you're with us today. I think you are new to us today. We're glad you made it. Greta and Jim coming in from Silver Spring, Maryland. Loriana, Kachina, Courtney in Vermont. Lynn in Connecticut. Thanks so much, gang, for being with us today. Super glad you all made it. Can't wait to sing with you tomorrow.